What's up and welcome back to another video. Guys, today I'm going to be answering some of your questions. As always, if you have any questions that you'd like me to answer in the next installment of this series, leave them down below in the comment section of this video and I'll try my best to get to them in the next episode. But without further ado, let's get right on into this video. Our first question for today comes from Star Wars, and they ask, do I think that they will make a gunship again? And I really do think that LEGO will be making another gunship in the coming years. I think it's no secret that in the past, the gunships have been very, very good sets for LEGO, selling very well, even though right now the Coruscant Guard gunship, which is the one on shelves, is kind of divided on how the fans actually view it, if they like it or if they don't like it. But I would say it is mostly positive reviews on that set, maybe disregarding the minifigure aspects, but the build itself, I think the gunship is so iconic and it's always in that kind of Clone Wars like era media and the prequels as well. So I think it is no doubt until we do get a new one. Now, if I had to guess, it probably wouldn't be until at least 2 years after this one retires. Maybe 1 year if LEGO is pushing it. And if I had to guess, it probably would be your standard gunship, not like a weird variant like the one that we have right now. But overall, I do think that we definitely will be seeing another gunship in the future from LEGO. Colin asks, do I think that we could ever see a Star Wars CMF from LEGO? It's not like it wouldn't sell, and I do not disagree with you. I have no doubt that that would be the best-selling CMF that LEGO has ever put out, but there's definitely some issues. I mean, it would be reminiscent of that $15 clone pack that LEGO could not keep on shelves, so keeping it in stock and all of that would be an issue, but this is a topic that has been talked about for forever, from what I can remember, between the fans and LEGO, and they always get some sort of answer along the lines of they cannot do it because of their licensing with Lucasfilm, with like the toying with all of Star Wars and like Hasbro. I guess there's some sort of deal there where they're not able to. Now, a lot of people have also said that it's kind of BS, that they could do it if they wanted to, because we did also get those little minifigure packs back in the day with all of the older minifigures from before I was even into, like, before I was even born, back in like the 2000s and stuff like that. But nonetheless, I do think, no doubt, that it would sell, but I know it is a bit of a gray area there with, you know, what they're able to do and what they're not able to do based on their licensing agreements. Now, I don't know if that is true. A lot of people, you know, saying it isn't, but it's not really my place to talk on that because I'm not sure either way. But like you said, no doubt it would sell. However, it's not really looking likely. It's been so long and they haven't done it. It's not like LEGO, I don't know. I have no clue why they wouldn't do it unless it actually is something to do with their licensing and stuff like that. However, I don't think it's looking likely. As much as I would love to see a CMF come out of LEGO Star Wars, I just don't think it's something that's going to happen realistically. Hunter Robinson asks, do I think that we'll ever get a UCS ATM6? Because you have the Playscale one, but it isn't very big. And I do think if the sequels were to get a UCS set, it would be the ATM6. I think it was pretty cool. I do think that scene on a crate was pretty epic. I think if there was going to be any sort of UCS set from the sequels, it would be the ATM6. However, we only get so many UCS sets a year, and I don't know if LEGO would use the slot on a sequel set when it probably realistically would not sell near as close to a original trilogy set or a prequel set or a Clone Wars set or something like that. However, I wouldn't 100% rule it out. I don't think it would be hard for them to put together. They have the ATTE to use as a, or ATAT to use as a base because they are fairly similar. But like I said, I don't know if that's something that they would do, but I think it's definitely a possibility to see at some point in the future. Alistair asks, do I think that we'll get another battle pack with 501st Grunts? And I think it's probably no doubt that we'll get one in the future. However, I don't think it's going to be for a fairly long time. We've gotten 2 already. We got that one back in 2020. And then we also got the one in, what was it, 2023, 2022? I forget which year, but I guess that wasn't really Grunts. That was the specialist one. But I do think that we will see them again. And we have gotten them in other like one-off sets where they've been thrown in. But I kind of don't want to see them for a while. I'd like LEGO to give the chance to some of the niche and like lesser done legions that of there, because there's countless clone legions, especially ones that we've never seen from LEGO before, and I feel like I'd rather get some of those legions rather than getting the 501st again. But I do have no doubt that we will see the 501st at some point in the future, even if it is a couple years from now. Joshua asks, do I think that Commander Gree will come back? And I think so. I love Commander Gree, and I do think that we will be getting a new minifigure of him. Now, I think that we will not be getting another version of the Phase 1, probably ever, realistically, to be honest. I think that 2008 version is the only one that we're going to have, but I think the version that we will be getting is going to be a Phase 2 Commander Gree that we also have gotten before, but I do think that we will see an updated version of him at some point in the future. I don't know when, but whenever we get another like Kashyyyk wave of sets, I feel like that's kind of the no-brainer for LEGO just to throw in with that set. So I have no doubt that we will see one. I just don't know when we're going to be getting some of those sets. Mr. Vanderland asks, do I think that they'll make the versions of Obi-Wan and Anakin in their armor anytime soon? Now, I think this is definitely something that will happen. I think the Clone Wars armor form of Anakin and Obi-Wan is just super iconic, and I think it's just a matter of time from when LEGO is going to revisit the Clone Wars for sets, and when they do that, you know, Anakin and Obi-Wan being arguably the main characters of the Clone Wars. I guess it is technically the clones, but yeah, neither here nor there. But I do think that we will be getting them in those sets, and hopefully in a nice updated version, because the versions that we do have a bit goofy in those Clone Wars styles, definitely not everyone's cup of tea, but I think updated versions of these characters would be really cool, and I think that the armor designs for Anakin and Obi-Wan are also very, very sick. 805 Gaming asks, do I think that Droid Battle Packs will come back, and when that would be? And to be honest, I don't know if we're going to be getting Droid Battle Packs anytime soon, given the fact that when we get a Clone Battle Pack, we're getting a bunch of droids. So people have those droids. Now, don't get me wrong, I'd love to see a droid battle pack, but we're getting the Super Battle Droids and the B1 Battle Droids very, very often. I think it would be cool to get some sort of like one-off thing with, you know, the Assassin Droid Battle Pack that we got a while back. I know that's one that not a lot of people are fans of, but I don't know if we would see a droid battle pack anytime soon out of LEGO, but I would love to see more droid sets, especially like a droid carrier set, kind of like the promo that we got maybe at like that $30-$40 range with a ton of droids for army building. I just don't know if a battle pack, you know, with a bunch of droids, a droid battle pack is something that's on LEGO's radar when they can be, you know, making battle packs that might sell better. I feel like a droid battle pack would sell very well. It just can't be that same kind of 4 minifigures for $20 deal, because I feel like people would get pretty upset with that, rightfully so. Droids aren't really widely considered minifigures by a lot of people, but I think given the fact that we are getting droids so frequently in all of the other clone battle packs, it is not necessarily a necessity. However, I do think that it would be nice to be seeing some droid battle packs, or at least some more droid sets out of LEGO. Lightsaber asks, what minifigures would I want the most out of LEGO that they have not made yet? And there are countless minifigures that I think LEGO has made. I have like a little series where I make minifigures that LEGO hasn't made out of stuff, and there's too many to name. I think off the top of my head, like right now, for some reason, I've really wanted to be doing a Dex Steiner mock, and you know, can't really do that without Dex, and I think he would be a great minifigure to get in the future. Another one, General Coda, I think would be great from The Force Unleashed. There's a lot of like game characters that we've, you know, haven't gotten because we don't really get sets from the games. I think a big one also being the Clone Commando is one that I've wanted for a while now. There's a ton of really cool ones. There's a ton of characters from the Old Republic as well that I'd like to see, it being a big Old Republic fan, but there are a ton of minifigures, and unfortunately, I don't know if LEGO's ever going to be able to get to all of them, but let me know down below in the comments what minifigure you want LEGO to make the most. Yodik the Giant asks, if I had to create one set from each era of Star Wars, what would I make? And I'm going to stick to the big three, the movie ones being the original trilogy, the prequels, and the sequels. And starting off with the original trilogy, I don't know what it would be called, but it's like the big Endor landing platform thing, especially based on the Battlefront 2 game, that map. I don't know why, I just think that would be really fun, and I don't know if it's something LEGO could do just given the sheer size, but I think that would also be super fun to see. It's a mock that I've wanted to do for a while, so I just think it would be cool to get as a set. I think there's probably definitely some better options for that. I think the home one in a play scale would also be pretty great from that, or just an updated version of Cloud City in a play set. But moving on to the prequels, I think the big one that I just really think that we should get is any form of the Jedi Temple. I think would be sick. I don't really know if it should be like diorama, you know, a play set. I don't know how they would make it a play set and make it good, or like, I feel like just make it, put it up at $1,000 like the Death Star, and just make a massive UCS Jedi Temple and fill it up with a bunch of detail and stuff. I don't know. I don't know if it's something LEGO would do, but it's definitely something that I would want to see. And then, like we were talking about earlier, for the sequels, I think a UCS AT-M6 would just be pretty sick. I think it's a cool ship, and it's definitely my favorite out of it. I think there's definitely some other ideas that they could do. I think there's some interesting stuff from the sequels that we haven't gotten, but I think regardless, that would be the one that I ended up going for. But there's a ton of different ideas, and then I guess I could touch on some of the other, or I won't, because I guess the Clone Wars era is kind of tied in with the prequels, but there are just a ton of sets that LEGO could make that I would love to see in the future. XUXE asks, do I think they'll actually get a $50 turbo tank? And I do. That is what the kind of leaks and rumors are kind of pointing toward, you know, I guess it's not 100% locked in just yet. It still could change, and I don't think that it is kind of that thing. People are saying that it's been mixed up with the ATST. However, I don't think that's true. I think I talked about this last week as well, but given that it's an 18 plus ATST, it's gonna be at that higher price and piece count versus a, you know, a 7 plus, well, rumored 7 plus set based on Rebuild the Galaxy for the turbo tank is going to be less pieces and cheaper. So I do think that we're going to be getting that $50 turbo tank, which some people very excited for, some people a bit disappointed. I would say kind of in the middle. I'm excited to see it. However, I am kind of disappointed that it's not going to be a traditional turbo tank, because I think the turbo tank is really cool and I missed out on the previous turbo tanks. I haven't had them and I've wanted one. So I was kind of hoping to, you know, get a play scale one to pick up, or even maybe a UCS Juggernaut would be sick. But nonetheless, I am excited to see how this shapes up. And that is going to do it for this video. Thank you to everyone who asked a question, and thank you for everyone for watching this video. If you have any questions that you'd like me to answer in the next episode of this series, let me know down below in the comment section, and I'll try my best to get to them in the next episode. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe. Drew signing out.